All right, guys, week 7 update. Here we go. But before we start the update, I wanted to say a couple of things. I'm one of those guys that could buy a car kit that you would have to put together by yourself, and it would come with some very, very detailed directions on how to do so. I would throw those directions in the corner and try to do it myself. And then, most likely after 7 years, I would have it all completed, but I would also have a whole shelf full of parts that I have no idea where they go to, and the car wouldn't be running. That's my luck. That's how I work with directions. That being said, I got a comment this week that said, Ben, you're telling people to count to 10 to 12 after the injector pen, after you push that plunger button. Is that entirely accurate? And the actual answer to that is no. And I've been doing it wrong. Well, at least I've been explaining it wrong. I don't know how much difference it'll make, but the actual directions that I probably should have read when I first started this stuff clearly state, press and hold up to 10 seconds. Press and hold the purple injection button for up to 10 seconds. Then you listen for the first click, that's the injection starting, and the second click would be when it completes. And if you'd like to visually verify that it's complete, you can look down, and if you see the gray plunger, if that's visible, then it's done and you can pull it out. No need to count to 10. There's none of that nonsense required. The 10 seconds that they state in here, I believe, is to give the plunger time to do its magic, time to finish its thing, which you should be able to hear audibly and see visually with that gray plunger. If that's visible, you're done. Anyway, so let's move on to my results this week. This is week 7 results. Now, you'll remember last week I moved up from 2.5 milligram to 5 milligram. Now, I do have some stuff written out here so I wouldn't forget to tell you anything. And something different this week, right? There's some stuff that I ran across on the interwebs that I wanted to talk about. But what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give you the results right now, because I know there's people out there that are like, just get the damn results, man. Enough with the BS, right? Just get the results. You guys that want to sit around and BS after the results, please stick around and we'll BS a little bit, because I've got some things that I'd like to say about a video that I watched a little while ago. Anyway, so week 7 update. You'll remember when I started this whole thing, this whole process of lowering my blood sugar, first of all, and lowering my weight, second of all, my blood sugar was at 474. So, and my weight was at 185, but that was after a year of diet and exercise on my part to get down from about 225, 230. So I had done that by myself down to 185. Now I'm hoping that because I'm on this Mounjaro for my diabetes, that it's going to take me the rest of the way to help me anyway, because I've really plateaued as far as weight goes. Anyway, so my blood sugar high this week was 119, and that was on Sunday. That's normally when I have my sugar high. I don't know why. It's not that I'm eating bad on Saturdays. My cheat date is on Fridays. Maybe it's just taking an extra day. I don't know. Like tonight, I get to eat something, whatever I want, as long as I watch my portion, right? And I don't do too much. So, you know, I'm learning. I'm learning how to control my eating. Do I have to have it? No. I want it, and therefore I'm going to have it, and that's where I'm at. And if my blood sugar allows me to have it, I'm going to have it. I'm going to reward myself. And speaking of rewarding myself, my blood sugar low this week, 85. That was yesterday. And you know what? Come to think of it, last week, my low blood sugar day was on Thursday of last week as well. That's pretty weird, because you'd think that it'd be that the Mounjaro would be wearing off by now, because it's been almost 7 days on Thursday, and then today seems to be still kicking it. So my blood sugar average this week, 104.6. I know, right? I'm super happy, because my first goal was to get below 120, and I was almost there last week. It was almost there. I was at 122.4 last week. And I was a little disappointed I didn't make it below 120. You guys, I'm at 104.6. So I've already made my second goal for a week's average blood sugar of being below 110, 104.6. I'll take it. And if it just stays there, I'm going to be super happy with that, right? 104.6. But I'm going to get greedy a little bit. I'd like to see that just below 100, right? I'm gonna set my new goal for like 98, 99. That's what I want my weekly goal to be. I think that's I would rather be on the low end of that, being in the healthy realm of things, right, than on the high end. So 98, 99 is what I'm going to be shooting for. Hopefully this stuff gets me there. We'll see. It's gotten me this far, so I'm very happy with that. Last week, I had gained 2 pounds on my weight. I was at 182.2, and if you'll remember, I was a little down in the mouth about it, right? Because, you're hoping that stuff kicks in. But I was on the lowest dosage of the stuff, and people were telling me, don't be discouraged. That's a loading dose, right? 2.5 is a loading dose. And then they also warned me that, hey, when you get on the 5 milligrams, give it a couple of weeks to kick in, but it will kick in. And I trust that it will. Maybe it's already kicked in. This is the time of the update that I normally check my weight. Haven't checked it since last Friday. 182.2 was the weight last Friday. Let's see what it is this week. That's a successful weigh-in, 178.2. We are 2 for 2. 178.2 is fantastic. 178.2 pounds. That's a loss of 4 pounds this week. I will take it. I love it. So I lost the 2 pounds that I gained last week, and I lost 2 more additional pounds this week, and I'm down to 178.2. I'll take it. All right, guys. So this is the part that you may want to bail on. I kind of talk about the side effects that I've had this week, and they have been a little bit more intense. And then we're going to get into a video that I saw, and I want to talk about it. It's about internet trolls, right? Anyway, so my sleep this week. Let's update everything that we always update on this. My sleep this week, it hasn't been as good as it's been the last 4 or 5 weeks, honestly. It's not been that great. I've been waking up a little bit in the middle of the night, but it's not for the reasons that you think. It's not the going to the bathroom thing anymore. It's more of just not feeling very good, right? Not like pukey sick, but a little nauseous, and maybe my stomach is hurting. I think that's what's waking me up, is having a stomach ache. And it gets me up around 4. And normally, and I've learned how to do this now, is just to get up on my feet, go out to the kitchen, get a glass of water or something, and then get back in bed, and I can fall back asleep, generally speaking. But it is disrupting my sleep, so sleep's not as good. I've had some nausea that came back this week. I haven't experienced it like that, since the first 2 weeks. I had some nausea and then nothing. I got used to the drug, I think. And now that I'm up to 5 milligrams, that nausea has come back, and it's been a little worse. I've had it a little bit more often, maybe 2 or 3 days this week I've woken up that way, feeling kind of sick. But generally speaking, once I'm on my feet and I have my first cup of coffee, I'm good to go, So it is what it is, and I'm willing to deal with it. Hopefully my body adjusts to a 5 milligram dose where that nausea goes away, because I don't like being nauseous at all. Don't like it at all. My BMs also, and I hate this part, but I got to talk about it because it was something that I was curious about, have been less consistent this week than they were last week. Last week was a great week. It seemed like every day, at least something was going on. Now this week I went, a day and a half without going to the bathroom. Now generally if I skip an entire day, I'm getting right to the Mylantics and getting or Miralax, and getting my system back on track as far as the flowing goes. I'm a little worried about some of the things that I'm hearing about how it slows down your digestion and stuff like that. I know that that's one of the planned things, but one of the comments that I got, kind of opened your eyes when you read something like that. Her husband got diverticulitis, and they had to remove many feet of his intestines to get rid of it. It's just terrible. And I'm assuming that because she commented on my Mounjaro video that it was Mounjaro related. And I have heard that it a thing called stomach paralysis, but I've also heard that, once you come off of it, that goes away, right? 100% of the time, it doesn't stick around. I need to look more into it, and if you guys know more about that, let me know in the comments below. Anyway, so I've been super vigilant about my BMs, and that's why I keep them in my vlog, and that's why I kind of talk about them, because if I'm concerned, I'm sure there's others that are concerned. So I like to go, if I go more than a day, then I'm getting on the Miralax, right? Enough of that, anyway. It seems like I have less of an appetite this week, and that might account for the 4-pound weight loss, because maybe I do. I went a day and a half, absolutely zero appetite, and in fact, I was gonna go 2 days, and I was like, you know what? I probably better eat something tonight for dinner, whether I need to or not. Something small. And that's what I did, and my appetite returned the next day, but I'm going to tell you that it's returned at like normal times, like when I normally would get hungry, like around lunch. Not that I'm hungry, it's just like I probably should get something to eat, right? It's returned around the same times, but it's far less intense, right? I feel like I could skip those meals if I wanted to. I could probably skip 2 meals. I could skip a whole day if I wanted to, and a lot of people have recommended that for fasting. But I'm one of those guys that believe just maintain, right? Let's reduce and see how things go. Let's not shock the system too much. It's going through a lot of changes already. I used to put a lot of food in this body. It's not used to not having any at all for days. Anyway, so just my thing. You guys do what you want and do what your doctors say. As far as the fasting goes, I need to still look into it and decide if that's right for me. Let's see. So like I said, this past week on the 5 milligram of Mounjaro dosage has been more side effects. I've also had the headaches a couple times, twice in fact this week. When I woke up, I had a headache, but by that first cup of coffee, same with the nausea, it was gone too. So they don't last long. Somebody suggested leaving a little thing of crackers by your bedside, and I remember my dad doing that. My dad was a diabetic too. He would carry around crackers with him. He could feel his blood sugar getting low. I think he was on those old-timey drugs back then for the diabetes, and it could really bottom you out terribly. And he would always carry a pack of crackers, and I found myself doing that now as well. If I just feel a little jittery, which happens occasionally right now, and I think it's my blood sugar that drops. I should test it next time just to see. But a cracker or two fixes me right up with that anyway. Somebody in the comments suggested that I go check out this channel. Let me read it. It's a YouTube channel. I think he's got all kinds of stuff all over, like on TikTok and all that other kind of stuff. But his YouTube channel is called On the Pen with Dave Knapp, man on the Mounjaro. So I went over and I checked his YouTube channel out, and the comment was correct. This guy, he's got like 57, 58, 6,000 subscribers or something like that. And I don't understand why he should have more than that. I watched a couple of videos over there, and they were very informative. I watched, he had a live stream going on at one point. I watched a bit of that, and it was very interesting. I liked his interaction with the community. He's got it going on. And he's got a bunch of videos on the politics and, the news. One of his latest videos today was on Ozempic, and please look out for, fake Ozempic. I guess the pharmacies are getting fake Ozempic, and instead of being, the GLP-1 that it's supposed to have in it, it has insulin, and it's putting people in the hospital and worse. So you should definitely go check that out if you're on Ozempic. I will post a link to his channel in the description of this video. But there's all kinds of videos over there. He talks about the politics and all kinds of stuff. So I am looking forward to checking out more of his videos. I was only able to watch 2 or 3 of them. But one of the ones that really caught my eye right off the bat over on his channel was Man on Mounjaro, schooling trolls on the disease of obesity, right? And I thought, well, that's interesting. And because everybody gets hate comments on their YouTube channels. This isn't my only YouTube channel, and I have a slightly larger YouTube channel. I get hate comments all the time, every week on that. And how I deal with haters, I just delete their comment, right? If they're being mean to me, or they're being mean to maybe somebody in my family, or they're being mean to somebody else in the comments, I'll just delete their comment, right? It's not a freedom of speech issue. It's this is my platform, and I'm going to have what's going on in my house. I'm going to have some decorum, right? I'm not going to have people cussing each other out and calling people names and stuff like that. I thought we got over this harassment and bullying, but I guess not. Now, I'm familiar with with being on the receiving end too of the harassment and the bullying. In middle school, I was a little rotund, let's just say. I was pretty good shape in high school, and then I joined the military, and then we found out what my genetic makeup was all about when I got out of the military, and I gained about 80 pounds within about 2 years. So there you go.
First, the World Health Organization recognized obesity as a disease in 1997. The American Medical Association recognized obesity as a disease in 2013. GLP-1 and other incretin hormones like Mounjaro, which also acts on GIP, another incretin hormone, actually act on the pleasure reward centers in your brain as well. And this connection is dysregulated when you're obese or metabolically sick. American Medical Association only 10 years ago identifying obesity as a disease, and this is how far we've come. That people are able to take these GLP-1 medications and finally break that cycle of lose 30 pounds, gain 45, lose 30 pounds, gain 45, because there's metabolic hormonal dysregulation. So you start to understand why when those of us who have struggled every year of our life to control this disease finally find something that's doing what we needed it to do metabolically, and we face an entire system that is designed to try to take it away because it's cost prohibitive. Listen, Brett, I hope you're a better guy than this comment lets on. I'd like to give you the benefit of the doubt that you are. Let's engage in conversation.
So the full video is about 4 minutes long, 3 minutes and 52 seconds, I think. You guys should go check out the full video because he really does say some interesting things. He really is trying to school this guy and try to convince this guy that he's on the wrong side of being a good person. And he is. The comment, it's not meant to be educational. It's not meant to encourage, and it's not meant to any of that stuff. It's only meant to hurt people's feelings. So in short, I think that Dave explains it best, that obesity is in fact a health crisis. Everybody's declared it as such. All the doctors and all the health organizations across the world are declaring obesity as one of the most rising health problems that we have in the world today, right? Health crises, they call it. So it's a problem and it's a disease and it needs to be treated as such. So I think it's better living a life without the pharmaceuticals if you can do it. But everybody needs them at one point in their life, and some people will need them the rest of their lives, depending, right? So everybody's different. I think he did a great job trying to educate this guy, Brett. I think he failed because, the guy's a troll. And back in the old days, trolling was one of those things where you'd tie a bunch of fishing lines to the back of your boat, throw it off the back, and go chugging down the lake or the river or whatever. And you're just hoping that some fish out of the random comes up and bites your bait that's on your trolling line. And when they do, it makes you happy because you got a fish. And that's the same feeling that these trolls get, right? They don't care about your reaction and they don't care about your facts. They definitely don't care about your feelings. They just want a reaction. And I think when you give them attention, that gives them that reaction that they need, right? That's all they wanted. You can tell them that they're wrong all you want. You can tell them that they're on the wrong side of being a good person all you want. They've already got the W that they wanted. They got your attention and they got you mad. And the more mad and the more upset you are, the more they win. So I think personally, the best thing to do is just to ignore them and don't even give them the time of day, honestly. But that's just me. You should definitely go check out Dave's channel. Like I said, links in the description, but it's Man on the Mounjaro. So after watching that, I ran across another clip. I got a little interested in internet trolls. I go down these rabbit holes, right? So I found this guy and I thought I'd share a little clip of what he had to say about those internet trolls with you and see if you don't agree.
Let's discuss the phenomena that is the internet troll. An internet troll, by definition, is someone who comes into a discussion and posts comments designed to upset and disrupt the conversation. They can lie, exaggerate, cuss and curse, accuse, attempt to offend at all costs in the hopes of upsetting everyone involved. Now, for some, it's a hobby. For few, it's become an addiction that feeds their narcissism, sadism, and psychopathic and Machiavellian tendencies. And each one of them are too stupid to know what any of those four words mean. They say things intended to stress and challenge you in hopes for a response. So the remedy, ignore them. Don't feed the trolls. Don't give them the online satisfaction because, let's face it, they would never say those things to anyone in person. Their boldness only exists in their anonymity. Poof, be gone. We'd insult you, but nature has already done one hell of a job.
The best way to handle internet troll comments on your channel or in your messages or on your voice thing on your telephone is just to delete them. Don't even listen to them. Don't even read them. You'll get to the point in the comment where you're going to know this guy's just trolling, and that's the time to just stop reading and delete it. It's not worth any more of your time. That's how you handle it, you guys. That's my recommendation anyway. You do it any way you want to, but that's what's made me happy. And that seems to solve the problem, because if you stop giving these, they're like kids, man. If you stop giving them attention, they just go away and find somebody else that will give them attention, right? One last plug for Dave's channel. I disagree with him on talking to this internet troll, but just because I disagree with him on this one small video doesn't mean I disagree with him on the rest of his videos. Like I've said, I've only seen 2 or 3 other ones, but they're definitely worth the watch. And I definitely have already subscribed. I recommend you head over to his channel and check out some of his videos ASAP. Okay, I've cleaned the area already. We are ready to inject. We're gonna go on this side this time of the belly. I don't know if you've noticed, but it has shrunk a little bit. Very happy about that. It's quite a difference from last June, I must say. Anyway, so the commenter reminded me that I need to keep this locked until I'm ready to inject it. He's exactly right with that. So now I've cleaned the area. I'm taking off this end cap. 2 inches away from my belly button is what they recommend. That's what I'm going to do right here. I'm going to put it right here. Just hold it up firmly to my skin. Hit the unlock button. And then when I push this purple button, we're going to listen for 2 clicks. The first one is the plunger going in. The second one is it completing its job. So listen closely. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That's that second click. Now I'm done. I don't have to count to 10. I heard the second click. I looked down and I saw the gray plunger, and that means that the injection was complete. So we've got our second dose of 5 milligrams injected. We'll see you next week for the results of week 8.
Yeah.
Do you post as Magnolia Fan on moviepoopshoot.com?
Yeah.
Did you write F Jay and Silent Bob? F them and their stupid asses?
Yeah, a while ago. So?
How many people wanna kick some